talent. The top infrastructure industry challenge, a shortage of skills and talent. As we've heard from Dominic this morning, and as identified in the 2017 ACOM Sentiment Survey, nearly half of all respondents felt that a shortage of skills and resources was, yet again, the most critical issue impacting the delivery of infrastructure projects. So, if skills are a problem, let's talk about our skill base. We know that the infrastructure sector is ageing, and this morning we discovered through our online poll that the average age of attendees at this conference is close to the age of 50. We also know that we have work to do in the diversity space, with women making up 30% of the delegates of this symposium, a large increase on previous years, but well below an even split. And as we look around the room today, our ethnic diversity has room for improvement too. Last year at Building Nations, you may recall that Infrastructure New Zealand launched 2 new networks to go some way towards addressing these issues. The Emerging Talent Network, or ET, was established for infrastructure leaders under the age of 35 to facilitate networking opportunities across the sector, provide career development opportunities, and to foster a greater understanding of the wider infrastructure landscape. It was also designed to help succession planning within the industry. We now have over 50 members participating in this network and have hosted a range of events throughout the year. And while Winston Peters' Super Gold Card may be of interest to some of our audience, being young can also have its advantages. Infrastructure New Zealand is delighted to announce that from 2018, this network will be free for all Infrastructure New Zealand members under the age of 35. We are also pleased to remind you that as members of Emerging Talent, you are eligible for a reduced price ticket to Building Nations next year as well, so we hope to see more leaders join us in 2018. In addition to the ET network, Infrastructure New Zealand also launched the Women in Infrastructure Network. WIN is part of a global network operating in the UK, USA, Canada and Australia. The purpose of this group is to grow the numbers of women in leadership roles and to increase the visibility of women in the infrastructure sector. I'm proud to announce that in a year we have established the WIN Advisory Board, chaired by Margaret Devlin. We have set up 3 chapters in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, and with a 4th in the pipeline for Otago. We've hosted 10 events nationwide, attracting over 500 attendees, and as of today, WIN has a membership of 671 women. A great deal of progress for 1 year. Imagine how quickly we could have turned the coalition negotiations around. As part of our work, the WIN Advisory Board undertook a survey of diversity and inclusion in the infrastructure sector. The results showed that the underrepresentation of women is perceived as a real issue for the infrastructure industry, and that many organisations have goals to increase the representation of women. However, progress towards increasing the representation is slow to moderate at best, and organisations are really looking for assistance on how to do this. So we've heard a little bit about why organisations want to increase diversity, but John tells us, and many studies tell us, that diversity of thinking delivers business success. Our survey results echoed these responses, telling us that greater diversity brings access to a wider talent pool, diversity of thought, perspective and experience, and better governance and decision making. Additionally, many groups want their workforce to be representative of their client base and the community that they provide services to, and others simply want a team that is more aligned to the future. So, again, as we asked, why, if diversity is good, is it so hard to achieve? Our survey respondents told us that unconscious bias, discrimination, old-fashioned attitudes towards flexibility and parental leave, and a lack of female role models, making women less confident in putting themselves forward for senior roles, were all felt to provide barriers to achieving greater levels of diversity within teams. So, as a leader, what could you do to counter these barriers? Members shared their initiatives, which included removing unconscious bias, changing recruitment policies, promoting flexible working arrangements, providing diversity training and upskilling courses, supporting or establishing networks, and supporting role models and providing mentoring opportunities. From these survey results, WIN has resolved to focus on 3 target areas: growing the public profile and normalising women in the infrastructure industry through initiatives such as media training, assisting with women into board directorships, collaborating with other women's industry groups such as NAWIC and IPENS, role modelling, encouraging a diversity of speakers where possible, and investigating mentoring opportunities, and as of this morning, showcasing women leaders. And finally, championing the cause, profiling infrastructure leaders who are champions of change. And it is this third action to which I draw your attention. For change to occur, our survey respondents reminded us that it must come from the top. Support of the WIN network from Infrastructure New Zealand members has been generous. Leaders are open to assisting WIN through sponsorship, hosting events, connections, and with other groups to promote diversity. However, one company is really stepping up to the plate. I would really like to take this opportunity to acknowledge CityCare. Onno Mulder, the CEO from CityCare, has been a driving force in a number of diversity initiatives. Today, I am delighted to announce that CityCare has agreed to be the first founding partner and sponsor of the WIN network. Before I ask Tim Gibson from CityCare to share why they are supportive of this initiative, may I conclude by challenging this room of leaders to consider how your organisation stacks up on the diversity front. What actions are you currently driving to effect positive change, both for women in your organisation and, as we have heard, for your bottom line? And what else could you do? One very good place to start might be with supporting the WIN and emerging talent networks. Come and see me and let's see how we can make a difference together. So now to our new founding partner, CityCare, for the closing word.